Have you ever thought about how someone experiences change? Or if there's some sort of model or mechanism that we can use to measure and manage change in a person? According to Prosci, there is one such model. It's called the ADKAR model. It is a model that's built to help measure and manage change in an individual. But what exactly is it and how does it work? In today's video, I will explain what it is and how it works. This is the first of a 6-part series, so be sure to subscribe for more. My name is Nick, and we are And Change. In 1998, an engineer named Jeff Hyatt in the United States conducted research on how individuals transition through change. The culmination of that research led to what is known now as the Prosci methodology. He founded a company, Prosci, which continues his research to this day. And to this day, the ADKAR model is core and fundamental to how individuals transition through change. As we've said, ADKAR is a model. It describes the 5 elements that are present in an individual that adopts a change. These 5 elements are awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. These elements are also measured on a scale between 1 and 5, 1 being a low score and 5 being optimal. A simple way to think of these is like milestones that an individual needs to achieve to transition through a change. Once achieved, these milestones will facilitate that individual adopting the change. The model advises us that we must build these elements in a sequence, starting with awareness, then desire, moving through to knowledge, then ability, and lastly reinforcement. The reason for this is that from Prosci's research we have learned that it is almost impossible for you to build an element of ADKAR in a person if the preceding element is not present. In other words, it's impossible to build desire in someone for a change unless they're not aware of the need for the change in the first place. Similarly, you cannot build knowledge in someone on how to adopt this change if they don't desire it and personally choose to adopt the change. The truth of the matter is that we all practice ADKAR in our daily lives without even realizing it. Think of a mother who is trying to see a change in her child's schoolwork ethics. When she tells her school child that it's important that schoolwork is done well, what she's actually doing is she's building awareness for the need to change. Think of a father teaching his son how to drive. What he's doing there is he's building knowledge in his son on how to be a driver, that future state. What ADKAR really provides, therefore, is a structured approach that allows us to aim for what is stopping an individual from changing. By measuring the ADKAR scores and plotting it on a graph, what you are doing is you're building a map of an individual's transition through change. Let's call this map, for argument's sake, an ADKAR profile. What this ADKAR profile provides you with is the ability to identify what's called the barrier point. The barrier point is the first score from left to right that scores a 3 or lower. What this represents is the element that the individual is missing to truly adopt the change. Once you have this barrier point identified, you can build plans and put actions in place to help that individual overcome this barrier. At this point, you are now actively managing the change in that individual. In essence, what this gives you is a roadmap that tells you what they need to adopt the change. You can use this roadmap as a leader or an influencer to ensure that the change is successfully taking place. For more information on this, take a look at the link in the description below. But how is this applicable in an organization? Whilst managing change at the individual level has its benefits, rarely is change management applied for a single individual. In fact, often it's applied for projects or initiatives with many individuals within it. These individuals could be spread across geographies, business functions, or even across countries. Applying the ADKAR model to a group of impacted people is exactly what change managers do. Just as one individual has his own ADKAR profile, all the people around him have an ADKAR profile of their own for that change. What this means is that looking at the bigger picture, a change manager can aggregate those results together and put plans in place and actions in place that manage the ADKAR profiles of entire groups or entire organizations. There's a very careful art and science behind how you choose to group your people together for the purposes of an ADKAR profile. And this topic is extensively covered in our Prosci Change Management Certification Program. In short, ADKAR is a model, nothing more. It is a model that describes how an individual goes through change. What change managers do is they use that model to map out, amongst other things, what needs to be done in order for an organization to achieve the objectives of a change. We are going to go more in depth on each and every element of ADKAR as part of the 6-part series. So for more, subscribe and leave us a like. From myself, Nick, and everyone here at AndChange, happy changes.